I don't remember the sound of the impact. Just the seconds after. The taste of blood. The slow whine of metal cooling. The way the ceiling of the ambulance blurred and flickered above me as they wheeled me in, like a broken reel of film. It was a simple accident. Wrong place. Wrong time. A driver ran a red light. My car folded at the passenger side like paper in a thunderstorm. I broke my left arm in 2 places, had a concussion, and tore up half my side. Breathing hurt. Thinking hurt worse. But she was there. Madison. She showed up to the hospital with flowers and watery eyes. She sat beside me every day. Held my hand while I winced through physical therapy. She fed me mashed potatoes and bad jokes. Told her followers how scared she was. How grateful she was that I survived. I became a kind of hero in her story. Her brave, broken boyfriend. For a few days, I believed that was the truth. The nurses adored her. One said, "You've got a real one. Most don't show up like this." I smiled through the morphine, tried to feel lucky. I was still in pain, but I wasn't alone. After 5 days, they sent me home with prescriptions, a hard cast, and strict orders to rest. Madison brought me home, helped me into bed, ordered Thai food, even gave me her pillow because mine was too firm. For the first 2 days, I slept like I hadn't in years. Between the painkillers and her soft hands brushing my shoulder, I thought I'd never feel safer. But by day 3, something shifted. She stopped making eye contact. Her phone never left her hand. She laughed at things I didn't hear and dismissed it as just memes. She took long showers. Said she was stressed. Claimed she had work calls in the other room that lasted an hour with no sound. And just like that, the gut feeling came crawling in. The one you don't want to feel, especially when you've just nearly died. I tried to dismiss it. Told myself it was just the medication, or the trauma, or the insecurity that comes with being dependent. But the way she touched me had changed. Her hands were still soft, but they no longer lingered. She stopped sleeping beside me. Said I snored too loud. Said she needed better rest. I believed her. I didn't want to believe anything else. But I was wrong. I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to tell myself it was just in my head. Paranoia mixed with pain meds and too much time lying still. But gut feelings don't come from nowhere. They come when patterns break. And Madison was a woman of patterns. Before the accident, she was the kind of girlfriend who shared everything. Overshared even. She'd narrate her texts aloud, ask if an outfit was too much for brunch. Show me memes she hadn't even finished reading yet. Now, her phone might as well have been welded to her hand. Always face down. Always locked. Always buzzing at the wrong hours. She started leaving the apartment more often. Quick errands, client meetings, just clearing my head. All reasonable. All conveniently timed right around when I needed the most help getting up, dressing, eating, existing. At first, I told myself she was overwhelmed. Trauma affects everyone differently. Maybe she needed space. But space started to look a lot like absence. And absence started to look like avoidance. Then I noticed the timeline. The day of the accident, she posted a story from the ER. A photo of our hands, mine hooked up to IVs, hers gripping tightly. Captioned, "Please pray for him. I can't lose this man." A few days later, she posted nothing. And the next time she did, she was at a rooftop bar. Alone, according to the post. But someone else took the picture. That much was obvious from the angle. I asked her casually how the place was. She blinked too long before answering. Said it was just a last-minute thing with co-workers. Something about the way she said it scratched at the back of my skull like a loose nail in drywall. And then the laptop. She left it open one morning when she rushed out for a meeting. Just sitting there, screen glowing, tabs up. She usually shut everything. Cleared her history like she worked for the CIA. But this time, either she slipped or she didn't care anymore. I told myself I wouldn't look. That if I went digging, I'd become the guy she already accused me of being. Insecure, controlling, dramatic. But then I saw the name. Devin. A Gmail tab open. A long email chain. Him asking how she was holding up. Her thanking him for being the one person who actually makes me feel seen. I didn't open anything. I didn't need to. The first email in the thread was dated the night of my accident. The same night she sat beside me, crying at my bedside, telling me she was scared to lose me. She was already texting someone else. Already looking for a replacement before I'd even made it out of surgery. I didn't confront her. Not because I was afraid of the fight, because I wanted to be absolutely sure. I didn't want another lie layered over an almost truth. I didn't want a half-baked story about an old friend checking in. I wanted proof so clear that even she wouldn't bother trying to explain it. So I copied everything. Every email. Every thread. I screenshotted timestamps, captured attachments, downloaded photos. Devin had sent her more than messages. He sent hotel confirmations, dinner receipts, a Spotify playlist called For Us. It wasn't even subtle. And Madison? She responded with emojis, inside jokes, and phrases that didn't belong to strangers. Phrases that belonged to people who weren't worried about being found out. There were mentions of me. Not by name, of course. Just he and him. He's still healing. I'm trying to be there, but it's exhausting. I feel like I'm disappearing. I just want to feel wanted again. Wanted? I was the one who couldn't shower alone, who needed help tying his shoes, who was relearning how to sleep on his back because the stitches pulled too tight. And she was talking about feeling unwanted? It wasn't rage that set in. It was a kind of coldness I'd never known before. Something below anger. A quiet numbness that filled every space where love used to live. She came home that night with Thai takeout and a fake smile. I accepted the food, said thanks, let her talk about her long day. I didn't mention the emails. I didn't look her in the eye. I just nodded. Let her lie to the version of me she thought still existed. I waited 3 more days. In those 3 days, I backed up everything. Saved it to a flash drive. Labeled the folder June Recovery. A name so innocent she'd never suspect it. I printed the worst of it, just in case. Booked a storage unit. Started quietly packing my things into labeled boxes. And all the while, she kept talking to Devin. I could tell by how light she was. How free. She laughed at nothing, texted more, slept less. She was already living in the next version of her life. She just hadn't told me I wasn't in it. What she didn't know was that I was done playing the quiet, wounded man. I was done pretending that survival meant staying still. Her birthday was coming up. She had a whole party planned. Friends. Family. Decorations. She even ordered one of those giant custom cakes with an edible photo on top. Us at a beach in California, smiling like liars. She wanted everyone to see how happy we were. So I decided to give her exactly that. A moment she, and everyone else in that room, would never forget. She had been planning the party for weeks. Madison loved attention. Not in the loud, obvious way, but in the curated, Instagrammable kind. The kind where the lighting had to be soft and flattering, the drinks color-coordinated, the decor minimalist but expensive looking. She rented a rooftop space in the city. Invited 20 people. Had a friend bring a camera, just to get a few natural moments. She even asked me to make the playlist. Something chill but happy, she said, twirling her hair like none of this was falling apart in real time. I said I'd take care of it. And I did. The night of the party, I helped set up. Carried tables. Helped arrange chairs. Everyone smiled at us like we were the golden couple. The ones who'd been through something hard and come out stronger. Even her parents were there. Her dad pulled me aside, clapped a hand on my back, and said, "She's lucky to have someone like you." I smiled. The DJ arrived with his laptop and gear. Madison gave him her phone with a playlist she'd made, but I stepped in and told him we had something better. A special video she wanted to play before dessert. Just a little surprise. He nodded. Everyone settled in. Wine glasses clinked. Madison did her grand birthday toast, thanking everyone for coming, telling them how this year had taught her about love, resilience, and the power of showing up for each other. Someone in the back shouted, "You two are perfect together." And I almost laughed. Then the lights dimmed. The screen behind her flickered on. At first, it looked like a montage, us at dinner, laughing, traveling. Soft music played underneath. She turned toward me and smiled, maybe expecting some kind of proposal. But then the video shifted. The music cut. The screen went black. A new title appeared. While he was healing. Then came the screenshots. Emails from Devin. Her responses. A close-up on the date, the same night I was in the ER. Photos of her in outfits I remembered helping her zip up, now posed in mirror selfies sent to him. Receipts. Messages. The timeline of betrayal, laid out like an exhibit in court. The room was silent. Madison froze. Her jaw moved, but no sound came out. Her mother covered her mouth. Her father stared at the screen like it was broadcasting a war. No one moved. No one spoke. I didn't wait. I walked to the table, picked up my coat, and turned to the crowd. "Thanks for coming," I said. And then I left. Down the stairs, into the night. Calm. Collected. Whole. I didn't check my phone for 2 days. Not because I didn't know what was waiting. I did. The missed calls, the voicemails, the long paragraphs trying to rewrite what everyone had seen with their own eyes. I just wasn't interested. There's a peace that comes after exposure. A silence that doesn't ask for closure because it already came. In full color, on a screen, in front of everyone who once thought your life was perfect. She texted me 23 times. Called 11. The first few were denial. Then came rage. Then guilt. Then the usual spin. I didn't mean for it to happen. You pushed me away. I was scared. None of it mattered anymore. I'd already moved my things out. She came home that night to an empty closet and a note that said nothing more than, "Don't worry, I won't ruin your next birthday." I stayed with a friend for a while. Then found my own place. Something small, quiet mine. I started going to physical therapy more consistently. My body hurt less. My mind followed. People talk about revenge like it's some explosive act, screaming, destroying, throwing everything in the fire. But I've learned the most devastating kind is the quiet kind. The kind that doesn't flinch. The kind that lets the other person collapse under their own lies. Madison stopped posting for a while. Her perfect feed froze. Then slowly it restarted, but different. Less curated. More filtered sadness, vague captions about growth, mistakes, and learning to forgive yourself. I didn't follow her anymore. Didn't watch. Didn't need to. What mattered was that I no longer doubted myself. I no longer questioned whether I'd imagined it all. Whether I'd misread the signs. Whether I was overreacting. Because sometimes the deepest betrayal isn't the act itself, it's the performance that follows. And when that curtain finally falls, you don't look back at the stage. You walk out of the theater into the fresh air and start writing something new. No audience, no script, no more pretending.